All right, guys, we're talking about my little G9 SBR. You guys have been bugging the crap out of me. Comments on YouTube, comments on Instagram, like, when are we gonna see a video on this thing? That thing is awesome. Well, we're out here in the blazing hot sun to do a video and show you guys, you know, kind of the ins and outs of this little rig. You know, this is a gun that I've had in the works for several years. I picked up this Lone Wolf G9 lower several years back, you know, just when like 9mm carbines were really becoming kind of popular and whatnot, and this was one of the first dedicated Glock-fed AR lowers that was on the market, and it came in at a very reasonable price. So I picked one up with the idea of building out an SBR, and it took me a while to get into the NFA game, but you know, this is taking a while, like I said, to put together. But just for you guys who are wondering, we're just going to go through kind of all the details of this rig and why I put it together and how I set it up and such. We're going to shoot a few more magazines for you at close range, like personal defense range, and then we're going to move up to the top of the hill and show you just where like a 9mm carbine in whatever platform, be it a full-length rifle like a 16-inch barrel platform like the Kel-Tec Sub 2000s, or like the JR carbines that we've shown you guys in the past, and like a little 5-inch SBR like what I have here, does at long range. And you guys know from previous videos where we've shown you how far a 9mm will kill, that, you know, 9mm packs a punch out to a long range, you know, contrary to popular belief. But like I said, this is a Lone Wolf lower. So it's a Glock compatible lower with a very large mag release here. Running one of the Magpul K2 style grips. It's a little bit more vertical grip for like PDW style firearms. And I've got a Geissele super semi-automatic enhanced trigger in here. The upper that I'm running is from American Spirit Arms. I decided to go with a side charging style upper just to negate any sort of gas blowback coming out of the T-handle like you find on the standard AR-15. And it's also very comfortable to actually charge and lock the bolt to the rear, as this lower does not have a last round bolt hold open, so it acts very similar to like an MP5, like you've seen Eric's K model from Zenith before. But ASA, side charging upper. We've got a LWRC ultra compact individual weapon stock on here. I went through a process of trying a few different compact stocks like the MVB ARC stock, and I was having some issues with it. Plus it's very heavy. This is a very lightweight rig that also collapses down to a very compact length for storage. I literally carry this thing around in just a small little everyday carry bag, if you will, when I go to the range and such, and everything stacks in there nice and tight. But I'm running an H2 buffer that I cut just a slight amount off of the poly material, so it would lock the bolt to the rear, and it negates the full travel of the bolt. Since it's 9mm, you don't have to worry about that bolt traveling all the way to the rear like on a 5.56. We've got a set of Magpul backup sights, just like anything you would normally see. Running an AImpoint T2 Micro in a Larue mount on here, just a little QD mount. This is by way of Optics Planet, a lot of good guys over there. The rail on here is a Knights Armament URX-4. This rail actually kind of integrates the barrel nut into the rail itself, so it's one integral unit. Comes with a special wrench that you use to torque it down, a series of shims to time it in place, and I thought this would be the perfect rail for this gun, given that it was the proper length for the barrel and the suppressor to kind of align in there and just hang out the end just a tiny bit. And this is a 5-inch Adco barrel with a Griffin Armament tri-lug adapter on it, and I'm running a Griffin Armament Revolution 9K can with their very compact tri-lug adapter, and literally this can is just great. It's hearing safe, mounts to this gun just fine, keeps the length down, very nice short compact package. I mean, it's hard not to like that. Running the BCM vertical grip, running the Surefire M300V on here, which is the white light and also an IR model. So you have dual illumination for night vision use and such as that, and just running one of their little rail mounted momentary and constant on-off switches. Makes for a very nice compact package. Like if you're using something like this for home defense or any kind of thing like that, scope around real easy. 2 different types of light. I can drop the PVS 14 on here and have some fun at night. But other than that, I mean, the gun's great. I do have a lot of money in this gun. I mean, this is like a $3,000 rig, easy. When you look at options out there like the CZ Scorpion, okay, you can literally have a very, very high quality blowback SBR for about $1,200. Okay, not including like a suppressor, but by the time you get the stock kit, your NFA tax, and the gun itself, you're at 1,200 bucks. So for under $2,000, you could have a suppressed, very nice pistol caliber carbine in 9mm for not a whole lot of money. By the time you add an optic and stuff to this rig, I mean, you're topping out at like 3,600 bucks. Okay, so ARs are not for the faint of heart if you're trying to do a 9mm, to say the least. They have some issues and they take a little while to get resolved and set up properly, but when they do get set up, they work very well. So much like an MP5, we're going to lock the bolt to the rear, load a mag, and we're going to take out a few more things. And I have a cow eating our watermelon.
He's been there the entire time.
All right, now we got old Bessie out of the way. She was down there eating our watermelons from earlier. I don't know what it is with those cows. They just love watermelons, man. All right, so we're running some more of the 147 grain Hush suppressor specific ammo out of this rig. Very, very accurate ammo, very clean, and very quiet. I mean, especially even in a blowback, you'd think that this gun would be a little bit loud at the port, but it's really very comfortable to shoot. Take a few more shots with this, and we're going to load up some 124 grain HST, which is definitely not subsonic, but we're going to tear up some of our watermelons and our sodas right there with this rig here. Take a few shots at our gopher. Let's see if I can just pop him in the head there. He's about 20 yards away or so. Guys, the accuracy that you can get out of like a 9mm carbine platform like this is just crazy. I mean, I'm stacking all those rounds right in that head, and it's 2 inches wide. I mean, 20 yards away, 2-inch target, stacking them in there. You're talking about, you know, a gun that'll shoot an inch, inch and a half with just factory ammo. I mean, I just don't know how much more you could ask for. Just great. Headshots here. I mean, like child's play. There's just nothing to it. I mean, in this range here that we're at, we've got targets anywhere between about 15 and 25 yards. The small popper back there is about 25 yards away. The gopher's 20 yards. I mean, our Fargong's about 75. We'll take a few more shots at him real quick. Let's see, let's run some of the 165 grain subs. This is pretty heavy for a 9mm as far as standard caliber goes, but very, very quiet and runs pretty well out of this gun, surprisingly enough. Let's just shoot a couple in the dirt here and see what they sound like. All right, a little bit of first round pop maybe. Let's see what those little things do at long range. Oh man. Oh no, we got a casualty. Must have had a bullet fragment or something ricochet off our gopher there. Oh well, we'll take care of him in a minute. Actually, let's go ahead and finish him off. I love the way those sodas sound when they get popped with a subsonic round. Oh man, you know, I put this rig together mainly just for fun, but I tell you what, I probably put at least 4,000 rounds out of this gun. I broke my firing pin after about 15 to 1600. I think it may have just been kind of a soft pin, but I replaced it with Rock River, and I've got a few spares. That's one thing about blowbacks is they will be kind of hard on certain parts, but I've gone probably through another 2,500, maybe 3,000 rounds. Pretty much fully suppressed using either this can or like my Liberty Mystic X that you guys have seen in other videos on a tri-lug adapter. And while that can is very, very quiet in the full-size configuration, I really prefer this Griffin can in the shorter K configuration. Just makes for a nice handy package. But we've got some Federal HST 124 grain ammunition here. Now this is not going to be subsonic. It's going to crack down range much like a full power rifle round would if it was suppressed. But we're going to run this ammo on our bottles and sodas there, and the zeros should probably be about the same. We're going to find out. So you guys are going to hear a crack down range. It's going to sound a lot louder, but it's still very much hearing safe. Let's take out one of those watermelons there. Good old HST for the win, man. That's another thing too about this buffer system I have in here. The reason I went with an H2, I tried a bunch of different weights. The H2 will run all the way down to the 165s as you saw, but then it will also very much reliably run all the high power ammo as well, 115, 124 plus P ammo if need be. But I wanted a gun to be set up to run everything under the sun, not just set up to run one specific type of ammo very well. So let's take out our sodas there. Take out that swinger. Uh-oh. He's trying to hide behind his buddy there. I don't think so. I'll get both of y'all. See if we can finish off our watermelon there. Wow. Just crazy how much power that round packs. And this is a 5-inch barrel, so you're getting full velocity out of defensive ammo. Something like this, or like a CZ Scorpion, or like a SIG MPX, any of those type of firearms would be an awesome little personal defense weapon, especially something set up for home defense with a suppressor on there. I mean, the thing is, you can be a heck of a lot more accurate with something like this than a handgun, and these are a lot easier to shoot in a rifle configuration. But I think you've seen enough down here at the bottom of the hill. We're going to move up and show you what this thing can do at long range from 100 out to about 300 yards, and I think Eric's going to get on it and have a little bit of fun too. Let's do it.
All right, guys, as promised, we've stepped up here to the top of the hill. We're going to take some shots with the G9 carbine here. This gun definitely, for me, represents everything you'd need in a life and liberty gun in terms of flashlight, suppressor. I mean, this gun has it all. And Chad really, did a great job in terms of putting this thing together and coming up with a concept and kind of marrying a bunch of different things into a gun that has a purpose. And I can definitely see that. We're going to run one of these SGM tactical magazines. We've been running the ETS a little bit, which is the Elite Tactical Systems magazine, as well as Factory Glock high cap mags. The SGMs, I don't know if you guys remember, we did the Glock meltdown video, and that Glock ate pretty much every single one of these magazines that we could throw into it, and kept on ticking, did a great job. So I'm going to try the SGM mags. I'm not going to lie. We have not tested this mag in this gun yet, so I don't know if it's going to work, but we will certainly try it. All right, so Chad's going to spot for me. We're going to lob in some long-range shots, and of course the wind just picked up, so this is going to be fun.
Makes it a challenge.
It always makes it a challenge.
Yeah, go for 100 there. I mean, that gun should be 0 to 100 with those 147s. Well, maybe not. Go again. Now they're hitting a little bit low and to the right. There you go. Yep.
All right. So those rounds are lobbing right in. I know where my point of aim is going to be. We're going to do some kind of Georgia windage figure in here. I'm going to go for 200 down there, Chad, and I'm going to give it a couple of feet.
Yeah, go ahead. About 2 feet under the gong. Yep. Just left. It's favoring slightly left for you.
That is nuts, that time of flight. All right.
Takes a minute.
250.
Just, well.
That was way over it.
It was, no, actually, it was pretty much just right to the right, it looked like. Try again. Yeah, just under it. Just under it. Bring it up a little more. Still just under it. Oh, it's kind of all over the place right there. There you go. Favoring a little bit high and to the left, but I mean, Crap is nuts.
It's great. You know, the 9mm really does carry some pretty decent energy out to longer ranges. One of the reasons that we know that is World War II. You know, the German military using the MP40, which has a relatively short barrel, but granted they were getting some decent velocities, and let's face it, the MP40 was a pretty effective submachine gun. So we know that the 9mm can definitely carry range out to a couple of 100 yards and really put a hurting on you if you're not careful. We're gonna go ahead and step back up to the Elite Tactical whatever magazines.
They're
Give
clear.
them a try.
They're clear and they look cool.
They're clear and they look cool. That's all that matters. All right, now here's where things are gonna get tricky. We're gonna get out to 300 yards with these subs, which they're dropping a ton. All right, so we're gonna give it a try. And another thing, I'll tell you what, before we get too far, I'm gonna try Chad's backup sights. Everybody always makes a big deal about backup sights. In some form of a combat gun, backup sights are probably pretty important. I'm gonna check his backup sights.
Uh-oh.
And I'm gonna see.
Remember, you and I see the sights different, so don't.
I don't wanna hear it. All right, so I'll tell you what, I'm turning the red dot off. All right, red dot's off. Backup sights only. 100 yards.
Go ahead. Use the same point of aim that you did for the red dot. Still low. Still low.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's gonna need some attention.
There you go.
That's not too shabby. I mean, you could probably make that work.
Remember, you and I see the sights different, so I don't want to hear
That's understandable. I like to play devil's advocate because, you know, just try to have fun. These Magpul backup sights do a pretty decent job. And, yeah, this rig right here is just great. I mean, everything that he's got on here makes a lot of sense. I mean, the 5-inch barrel, you're still getting full velocity with carry ammo. So it really basically, when you start looking at the entire configuration, it's really just a pistol that's really fancy, that has the stock, and you can shoot a heck of a lot more accurately and probably faster. All right, back to lobbing in bowling balls here.
Going for 3?
Yeah, why not?
Go ahead.
I'm gonna pick a crow's nest back there. I'm just gonna gather what I think is about the area I need to aim in, and we're just gonna go for it.
Go ahead. That actually may have hit a little bit high. Not seeing it.
Oh man, there's no telling. Hang on.
Oh, just under it. Oh, just to the right. Man, it's still just like right under it. It's kind of bouncing around in there. Oh, that's insane. Still favoring a little bit to the left. Oh yeah. Oh,
why not, right? That's just great. That's just great. You know, I know that Chad talks about this particular rig quite a bit. And you know, this video was meant to be just kind of a quick look at this particular rifle, if you can call it a rifle, I guess. It's really kind of crazy when you think about it. There's a lot of interesting technology that goes into this type of weapon and the way that everything comes together when it comes to the red dot sight, the flashlight, the suppressor, the short barrel, you know, the thinking, his way of thinking when it comes to having the rail a certain length to where you still get the usability of a nice compact rail. However, the suppressor pretty much taking up a pretty good point of this rail right here. It really just kind of marries the whole concept, makes it all come together. My opinion, the only thing that I would do to probably change anything on it, maybe run some MBUS Pros and maybe a little bit more consistent zero with the MBUSs, which of course that's for Chad's vision. This is Chad's rifle, so his sight picture could be slightly different than mine, which it most certainly is. But the Geissele trigger is a nice touch. It makes a very comfortable shooting gun. I love the grip angle he went with, the stock. And guys, the point of these types of videos, and something that I would, you know, probably pressure you guys to kind of think about, is that what this allows you to do is kind of figure on a bunch of different components that you guys could build into something you might want to put together in terms of an AR. So you might have saw this video and said, hey, that stock is great, or that grip is great, or the trigger, or whatever. It doesn't necessarily have to say, you know, hey, go out and build this exact rig. It puts a lot of components kind of to the test and allows us to kind of see where all those things come together and what it amounts to. This is a pretty cool little rifle, and like Chad said, you don't really have to necessarily build something like this. You could go with the CZ Scorpion, which in the giant scheme of things, probably, if I had to guess, would likely hold up a little bit better in terms of longevity in the long run, because it's a purpose-built pistol caliber carbine. Now granted, this is too, the lower and upper, that whole concept kind of married together gives you a pretty much purpose-built you know, gun in terms of its overall concept. Some people don't really like pistol caliber carbines. Some people aren't crazy about them. I think they definitely have their use. They have a purpose, and they're definitely something that I believe is overlooked in some cases. So take that for what you will. You can see that with a little bit of practice and work, you can make one of these you know, guns deliver the goods out to 300 yards. We've proven in multiple videos that the 9mm is definitely no slouch when it comes to getting out to longer range. You know, we've done that with a couple of other pistol caliber you know, carbines and things like that. So maybe check that out if you haven't already. But thanks for watching today's video. We hope you enjoyed it. G9 is definitely a cool little gun. We enjoy playing with it. We've got many more videos on the way. And guys, if you haven't, make sure you sign up for our email list. You know, we put out a newsletter about every 2 weeks that has everything from kind of behind the scenes photos and things that are going on, all the way to like, you know, prepper related content, kind of gunsmithing related content. So make sure you sign up for that. That also, with the email list, we're also staying on top of like man can orders and things like that. So if you want to know about man cans and how you can support the channel, being a part of the email list is definitely important for that. So you can make sure you're staying up on all those updates and everything like that. So thank you for watching today's video again. We'll catch you next time.